Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron. Welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be a part 2 to my canceled video. And in that video, I talked about all the movies that have been canceled or postponed as a result of the coronavirus. Some of these movies included Quiet Place 2, Mulan, No Time to Die, Fast and Furious 9, several others. And I correctly predicted in that video that the list of delayed movies was only going to grow. And it has, quite drastically. It's almost like a daily occurrence now. So, since I canceled my box office prediction series, this might be my new series, the canceled series. Because I don't have too many options at this point. And this is really interesting. It really is. Because so many big movies you wouldn't expect to be postponed have been postponed. So this is kind of unprecedented. And as you can tell by the picture here, yeah, Black Widow is part of the list. I know. Yeah, Marvel, not even the MCU is safe from this pandemic. So yeah, we're on the same article here. It's been updated, obviously. And most of the stuff here, is the same, yada, yada, yada. But this is new. But with the three largest theater chains, AMC, Regal, and Cinemark, all shutting down for the foreseeable future, it's difficult to see how any film will have a life in theaters until at least May. So yeah, if you haven't heard, nearly every theater in North America has been shut down. Yeah, they have closed for the foreseeable future. So yeah, if you wanted to go to the movies, sorry, can't do it. And the reason why, one of the reasons why is because, the box office last weekend was so just abysmal. It was the lowest weekend in 22 years since 1998. Like, it was down to a mere $55 million. It was just a bloodbath. Every movie dropped over 60 and 70%. It was a nightmare. So yeah, it would make sense that theaters would shut down because there's clearly no money to be made during all this. So, yeah. And it says here, and Trolls World Tour, will receive a simultaneous release via video on demand. It's probably just going to be straight to on demand. An unheard of decision for a major studio movie before this point. And I will talk about that because Universal is doing some interesting stuff. In fact, a lot of studios are doing some interesting stuff to try to, fight the effects of the coronavirus. It's quite interesting. So yeah, this is the updated list. Minions: The Rise of Gru. This happened today. It got postponed. It was supposed to come out July 3rd. Now to be determined. And I know what you're thinking. No! No! Not Minions 2! Anything but that! Yeah, honestly, I don't give a crap about Minions 2. Like many people, I hated the first Minions. It had no right to exist. It was only made for money, which they did make. Minions, to its credit, as bad as it is, made over $1 billion. Is the biggest non-Disney animated film of all time. So it would make sense to make a sequel to a prequel that's still a prequel. I don't understand that. But yeah, it's no longer coming out in July. So July just took a major hit there. And July was actually looking pretty stacked, honestly. There was Minions: Rise of Gru, there was Free Guy, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Tenet, Jungle Cruise, Morbius. Yeah, it was looking kind of alright, but now that Minions is gone, I bet a lot of the other July movies are going to be gone too if this continues. So, yeah, definitely a major blow, not just domestically, but especially worldwide, because those Despicable Me movies made a ton of money. Like the last two, Minions and Despicable Me 3, both made $1 billion. So this is a huge blow to the international market. So yeah, that's the recent big one. There was The Painted Bird, Antebellum, a horror movie. I really don't care, and I'm glad I don't have to talk about horror movies for a long time. It makes me happy. Run was supposed to come out. Oh, this one's kind of tragic. Spiral. I was really looking forward to Spiral because it's the latest Saw movie, and I love the Saw movies. I have nearly all of them, and I've seen Jigsaw too. Like, I'm a big fan of the series, and I was really looking forward to this because it looked different. It looked actually interesting. It had Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. Chris Rock was the one who came up with the movie. And you wouldn't, and although it's strange, you think, oh, Chris Rock making a Saw movie? That's weird. Well, Danny McBride was a part of Halloween 2018. He was one of the people who, brought that series, from the dead. So, it's not uncommon for, and also Jordan Peele, he was from Key and Peele, and then he made Get Out and Us. So it's not uncommon for horror, for a comedy, people in the comedy world to, you know, transfer over to the horror world. It's not uncommon. But yeah, Spiral, not going to come out in May, which I thought was a weird release date anyway. Why? Because all the other Saw movies came out in October because it's Halloween. It's scary. Well, really not scary. It's more disturbing and gory and, torture porn and all of that. But yeah, it's sad. And the big one, by far and away the big one, Black Widow. It's supposed to come out May 1st. It was going to come back to the 1st of May, a weekend that Marvel has made famous. In 2018 and 2019, Infinity War and Endgame were supposed to come out first week of May, but then they decided to push those back to the last week of April. That way it would have a big old global launch, which worked out amazingly for both movies. And yeah, Black Widow was supposed to, return to that spot, but it can't anymore because it's been delayed. And yeah, this is again a humongous blow to the box office because Black Widow was considered one of the most anticipated movies of 2020. Like this and Wonder Woman 1984 were the big ones. And now one of the big ones at this point in time is no more. And I've heard some rumblings that they might put it on Disney Plus. And to that I say no. Why would they do that? Because Black Widow, you can tell from the trailers, that movie's not cheap. That movie cost at least $150 million. There's no way they would just, miss out on $1 billion to put on Disney Plus. Because Black Widow screams $1 billion movie. It does. And it was one of the few movies I thought in 2020 that would make $1 billion. But, we have to see what new release date it has. And we probably won't know for a while until this whole pandemic, starts to, so the curve flattens, as they say. But yeah, it's crazy that not even Marvel, not even the MCU, the biggest franchise of all time, not even they can, I forgot my train of thought. Dang it. Not even the MCU could prevent, the coronavirus from, affecting them. And speaking of Disney, what about Onward? Well, Onward is dead. It's beyond dead. It is bombed all horribly. It didn't start out great. And because of this coronavirus, shutting down a lot of theaters, it fell 73%. It's only made $100 million worldwide. Honestly, if I were Disney, just put it on Disney Plus now. Just put it there. Because that's Onward's only salvation at this point. That's the only way where it could make some profit. Just some profit for the studio. But, yeah. There's, other, these were Fox movies, because, Fox is owned by Disney. Personal History of David Copperfield, Woman in the Window, obviously have been delayed. Blah, 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 that's gone. Nothing really important here. Yeah, so those are like the new ones. And as it said, Trolls World Tour was supposed to come out April 10th in theaters, but because all the theaters in the country are closed, Universal's doing something really different. And they've actually done this with several of their movies very recently. Movies that have already come out. They have decided to release their recent movies, which means, Invisible Man, Emma, The Hunt. They decided to instead put those movies on video on demand services, where it will cost around $19.99 for a 48-hour rental period. Now this is going to be interesting, and I feel like this is an experiment because obviously since most people are going to be stuck in their house because going outside is super risky now. I guess they're trying to see like maybe if this works, we can, do some stuff with some of our other movies. Maybe we don't need theaters anymore, which kind of sucks because I like movie theaters. I've been to so many movies so long. Like watching a movie in the theater is just not the same as watching it at home or on like a computer screen. It's just not. It doesn't feel the same. But I mean, for like smaller movies that really don't matter, like Trolls World Tour, or like movies like, I don't know, Antebellum and Run, and also Bloodshot. By the way, Bloodshot is out of theaters and it's going to be on video on demand on the 24th. I just found out about that very recently. So yeah, a lot of the smaller movies, they can go straight to streaming and video on demand. Like, I mean, they weren't going to make a whole lot of money anyway, but like for the big movies like Black Widow, Mulan, Quiet Place 2, Minions 2, yeah, those are not going to be on streaming. Definitely not. They have to be in theaters because they're some of the bigger movies of 2020. Well, they were supposed to be before all this went down. So, yeah. So yeah, that's an update. That's on more movies that have been postponed. I have a strong feeling I'm going to make a part 3 because there's still several movies on the calendar that have not moved at all. Movies like Scoob, SpongeBob, Sponge on the Run, Artemis Fowl, Wonder Woman 1984, Candyman, Soul, Top Gun Maverick, In the Heights, and all the July movies that I've already said. And who knows what's going to happen to them. And I really hope a movie like Tenet does not go to streaming. Warner Brothers, please don't do that. Tenet is one of those movies that you clearly need to see on the big screen in order to get the full experience. Because watching it on the computer is just lame. It really is lame. So I hope nothing happens to Tenet. I hope nothing happens to Ghostbusters Afterlife or Free Guy. Because I'm actually looking forward to seeing those movies. But yeah, Wonder Woman 1984, I have a very strong feeling that's going to move at least a few weeks, maybe into July or something. But who knows? This is an ongoing situation. Things change all the time. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Hope you like this video. Subscribe today, like this video, leave a comment. You hit the notification bell, share, you know the drill. And also, thank you for checking out my first canceled video. I really appreciate it. Because it was a video I really didn't want to make, but I just had to. Because it was going to affect my channel since I can't cover any of these movies anymore. I can't cover their box office for obvious reasons. So yeah, thank you for watching that video. And yeah, I'll see you next time. I am out.